Hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. It's the 29th day of February. Happy Black History Month. But you know, just like I know, Black history is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. And I'm Misbehaving. The name of this channel is Misbehaving is Fun, where I talk about real people, real problems, and real drama. And this beautiful lady that you see on the screen, this is Dr. Ruth Levy Gottsman. She recently donated 1 billion, that's billion with a B, $1 billion to the Albert Einstein School of Medicine located in the Bronx, New York. The students that are attending that school will be able to attend for free. Baby, this is what I'm talking about. This is how you do good. When you are blessed with money, you be a blessing to others, baby. And when I look at Miss Ruth, she reminds me of so many of the patients that I've cared for, some of them that I've privately cared for in their homes. But baby, it is something about a senior that is still with it, that has the opportunity to share their life experience with you. Baby, I'm going to share a funny story. When I started off in healthcare, I started off as a CNA, and it was my very first time being a CNA. I had got accepted into a nursing program, but the advisor talked me out of it, told me how hard it was, that I needed to become a CNA because a lot of people go to nursing school, they don't enjoy it, and they end up spending all of their money only to hate their job. So anyway, I became a CNA because I needed a job. But it was easy. But I can recall I would go to school full time during the day while my daughters were at school. And then I would work full time at night. And I had an older lady that would come and watch my girls for me. I would work the 11 to 7, or I think at that time it was 10 to 6. It had to be 11 to 7. Well, anyway, my first night working, it was me and two other CNAs, and I was the only black CNA. And I go in a patient's room, and when I go in a room, it's an older white woman, and she screams out loud and she says, "Oh, nigger!" So I jump up and spin around in a circle, and I ask her, I said, "Where?" I'm scared of them too. So she looks at me for a minute and just stares. So I just look at her and I stare too, because I want to know where is the nigger. Shit, I'm scared of them too. So anyway, after a few moments, she wants to get helped into the bathroom. I help her into the bathroom, then I help her back into the bed. And over time, boy, that lady came to love me. She would wait. She would wait for me and to see if I was working that night because she just wanted to share some of her life stories with me. But I'll just call the lady Miss Pink. Miss Pink, I'll never forget her, and I've encountered countless patients like Miss Pink. Once they get to know you, you know, they end up falling in love with you. And although it's against company policy, I wish I wasn't so honest. God, there have been many monetary gifts that I have turned down because it was a violation of company policy. And now that I'm older, when I think back, I think of things my sister had always told me. Nobody would have known unless you would have told. And I said, yeah, I'm older now. But anyway, that's just one of my stories. So I often encounter patients. Sometimes they're sad, sometimes they're angry, but I always make it a point to explain to them why they're in the hospital, what their diagnosis is, why they need to take their medication, and so forth. And since this is the last day of February, I'm going to share a story. One day I come into work at the hospital, And so we do what's called a bedside reporting. So you give the report in front of the patient. And this patient had been there for several days. Patient had cancer. And so I have this thing, I'm so OCD. I like for everything to be neat. Like when I come and get report, as I'm getting report from the outgoing nurse, I'm looking in the patient's room, I'm looking at the IV pole, I'm seeing, okay, are the IV bags almost empty? What's the date on the IV line? Is the IV still patent? Will I have to start a new IV? Because as patients get older, some patients, their vein rolls or they're hard to stick. So anyway, I was familiar with this lady, straighten up the bed or whatever. And then I go ahead and leave out. So when I come back, as I'm walking towards the room, I come on in and I see a young lady sitting there. Probably looked like she was in her 40s. And so I introduce myself and then I find out it's the lady's daughter. So I turn my back and I'm opening up the wow. And I'm logging in and I'm just looking over things to see what's going on, looking at the lab values. Well, then Heather walks into the room. That's the nurse I got report from. So I hear Heather talking to the lady sitting in the chair. So all of a sudden I hear this loud swaka noise. It's the whip sound. Baby, I know what a whip sound like. I'm old, but I ain't that old. But I know the sound of a whip cracking. Baby, I heard that. And in my mind, I'm like, I know in the hell that ain't no whip sound cracking I heard. Now I'm the only black person in the room. So, the lady in the chair starts laughing. And then she said, Heather, I got this. And Heather said, Haven, come and look at this. And the lady says, Heather, I got this for you. We worked you so hard this morning. And when I looked at it, baby, it was a whip. There was an app on the iPhone. And all you had to do was shake the iPhone and it would make the noise. And they're just laughing their little asses off. And I told them, baby, it's Black History Month. I said, please, try that in March, but not in the month of February. Hell, back then, that's when, 12 Years a Slave was out? They seem to always, during Black History Month, they always would put out all this slave movies. They'd replay Roots and so forth. Baby, I wasn't trying to hear none of that. Baby, the little old lady that was laying in the bed with cancer, she started laughing. She said, leave Haven alone. I love Haven. And I told him, shoot, baby, my nerves bad. You up here shaking phone sounding like a whip. Shit, hell, I got PTSD, y'all. I think we all got a little PTSD. Hell, that's why that movie Get Out resonated with a lot of us so much. Because, hell, I swear to God, if I'm the only black person in a room filled with all white folks, baby, I need to have my back to a wall. And I have to have my eyes on all the doors, baby. But, hey, that's just a little short story on my journey of being a nurse, and I'll share a couple of more. So if you're on the West Coast, what's up? California, I know you're up, you're getting your cup of coffee, you're on your way trying to work up the energy to go into work. And if you work on night shift, hell, you can't wait till day shift get in so you can give them a quick report and you can get out of there. But if you're here on the East Coast, you're probably, depending on what setting you're working in, if you're in a nursing home, you're probably in a stand-up meeting. That's if you're part of management to find out what's going on. If you're in a hospital, you're waiting. You didn't just finish reading your cardiac strips, initial them and place them in the patient's chart. And if you're in a prison or jail setting, baby, you ain't passing no medicines yet, because y'all only pass them maybe twice or 3 times a day. But anyway, y'all, I'm Misbehaving. The name of this channel is Misbehaving is Fun, where I talk about real people, real problems, and real drama. And hell, sometimes we gotta share little fun stories too. Everything doesn't have to be so dramatic. Hit the like. If you're part of the replay game, leave a comment in the comment section and we can banter back and forth. And let me get up off this live because I gotta come back in 30 minutes. Probably about 15 minutes rather. And I gotta read a couple of old hoes because they up in my comments talking crazy. And I don't like for nobody to misstate anything that I've said. So I gotta get them together. But y'all stay safe in these YouTube streets. And remember, hashtag save Wendy Williams. Uh-oh.